Hi, Bandana Gramma here. This video is of a live stream that I did making the Impossible Pumpkin Pie. And it's a type of pie that you would make when you want a pumpkin pie, but you don't necessarily want the heavy, full-fat crusted kind. It's a lighter pie that is good when you're trying to watch your weight. Well, in this recipe, I give you two sets of measurements and ingredients. One for the regular Impossible Pie, which is a lighter pie, and the other one for the extra light, which I was attempting to make. Don't bother with the second set of ingredients because the first one was much better. So here we go with my Impossible Pumpkin Pie. Welcome, friends, to another edition of my pop-up kitchen cooking live stream. I'm Bandana Gramma. And as usual, I'm not going to be able to see your comments until after the live stream. So come on in and get comfortable. Be friendly with each other, chat among yourselves, and I'll go ahead and do what I'm going to do here. I'm going to be sharing a recipe with you, and then I'm going to show you some of the crafts I've been doing this week. And then I'll check in with you at the end. In the office, I'll be able to get online and read your comments and talk to you there online. So I'm taking a recipe from my own personal little note cards here. And this one is called Impossible Pumpkin Pie. And I'm going to lighten it up a bit because I'm still trying to lose a little weight. More than a little, but yeah, trying to make revisions so it isn't as fattening as the recipe would have it be. Now, the pumpkin I'm using, again, is home canned pumpkin, actually home frozen pumpkin, and it calls for a 15-ounce can of pumpkin. So that's about 2 cups. We're going to call it, if you remember, canned pumpkin used to be 16 ounces, and then like everything else they started cutting back and now it's only 15 ounces, but we're going to call it 2 cups. And what I need to do, because this is kind of strandy, is put it through the blender to make it nice smooth pulp here. The recipe calls for 2 beaten eggs. I am using 1 whole egg and 2 egg whites. Because, again, I'm trying to cut back a little. So in they go. Now the recipe calls for 3/4 a cup of sugar. I'm going to use agave and syrup just to make it a little healthier. It's not fewer calories, but it's better than just plain sugar, I think. This is 1 cup, so I'll just add some of that. And some of that. That's the agave. And to round it out, I'm going to put a little brown sugar in there. Bring it up to 3/4 of a cup. Maybe just under, because I think the agave is actually sweeter than sugar. Alright, in that goes. Give that a mix. Now this is the type of pumpkin pie that really has no crust. It makes its own crust, and that's one of the reasons it's lighter. Alright, now we're going to mix up the dry ingredients. And the dry ingredients call for 1/2 cup of flour. Now, I'm mixing together flour, baking powder, and salt. You can do this, or you can just use 1/2 cup of like Bisquick or Jiffy Mix, something like that. So there's the 1/2 cup of flour. Then we want 3/4 cup of baking powder, 1/8 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1 teaspoon of ginger, and I have that all in here. So, give that a mix. Alright, now I should have put the milk in here too. This calls for 1 can of evaporated milk. To keep it light, I'm using fat-free evaporated milk. And we'll give that another little mix. Now we're going to mix the wet and the dry. I could put the dry in here, but I think I'll be more comfortable if I just do it all in a bowl by hand. So I'm going to put the liquid in a bowl. Then add the dry. So to go over the ingredients again, I have 3/4 cup of sugar with 2 beaten eggs. Now that's the regular recipe. I used a mixture of agave, nectar, maple syrup, and brown sugar to make up the 3/4 cup of sugar. And it asked for 2 beaten eggs. I put in 1 whole egg and 2 egg whites. Then it wanted a 12-ounce can of evaporated milk, and I put in a 12-ounce can of fat-free evaporated milk. Glad I went over this. I forgot the vanilla. So it wants 2 teaspoons of vanilla. That's easy to add now. I'll put this recipe down below when the video posts after the live stream. Okay, 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Then I made the dry ingredients out of 1/2 cup of all-purpose flour, 3/4 a teaspoon of baking powder, 1/8 a teaspoon of salt, and again, instead of that, you could use 1/2 cup of Bisquick or Jiffy Mix. And then to that dry, I added a teaspoon of cinnamon and 1/2 teaspoon of ginger. So it's pretty easy, and there's no crust to roll out or mix. Now we just put it in our pie pan. Now I'm using this, and I've pre-greased it. I use coconut oil. I should have had my oven on 350. Aren't live streams fun? You see all the mistakes. Okay, into the bowl it goes. There we go. And there we have the Impossible Pumpkin Pie. Impossible because it makes its own crust. It's not really a crust. It just holds together when you slice it into a nice firm custard with a little flour in it. So I'm going to let this preheat to 350 like I should have, and then I'll be putting it in. And while we're waiting for that, come on over here, I'll show you what I've been doing. Now this morning, I went out into my garden greenhouse and I brought in all my old cups that I had planted in last year. These were grungy, dirty, all kinds of stuff stuck in there, even webs and everything. So I got these all washed up today so I can plant some more seedlings in them. And a couple days ago, I started these seeds. I've got tomatoes here and peppers. Now this tomato I'm excited about, and I'll tell you why. I got this from, let me see if I make it darker. I got this from M.I. Gardner, and it's an orange Rossellini tomato. And when I saw his video on this, he tasted one someone had sent him, and he said the brick score or the sweetness score for this tomato was higher than others. And when he tasted it, he was in heaven. He said it was the sweetest, best tasting pepper or tomato he had ever had. So I ordered some from him. Now I know he didn't have tons and tons of seed. I'm guessing that the seed, I'm guessing that the seed he had might have been from ones he grew the year after that, because there's only 10 seeds in each pack. And for M.I. Gardner, that's very unusual. He usually puts a lot of seeds in a pack. So they're kind of rare. So I got 3 packs of them, and I've started them all as seedlings, and I'm excited. I'm hoping I get some good tomatoes, and they're really sweet. And if you look at them, they look like a paste tomato. They look like, what are those ones? Is it Amish paste that has the pointy little bottoms? And it says, this vigorous growing variety bears delicious fruit. Plants require little space and effort and produce a big crop. Excellent for salads, juice, canning, and relish. America's most popular vegetable. Well, it does not say paste. Oh, I guess it isn't to be used for paste, but it sure looks like a paste tomato. Salads, juice, canning, and relish. Canning? Well, I suppose that could be sauce is what I should have said instead of paste, but a paste tomato. Okay. And it tells you when and how to plant them, the care and the harvesting, and the health note about the vitamin A and C and all that. So he has a lot of nice information on his envelopes. And usually, like, all his seeds are like 99 cents a pack, which is a really good price. And there's usually a lot of seed in them. This one, I think, is an exception. Now, what else I have? I got down here under my cabinet, right here in the floor where my foot is, there's a heat grate. So I know this cabinet gets nice and warm. So I actually put some seeds in here. I just put them in yesterday, so they're not doing anything yet. But these are peppers I've started. These are poblanos. These I have not heard about. Etuda pepper. It sounded real interesting when I read up on it, but senior moment, I can't remember what it said. But I wanted to try it, and so I've got it started. And these are Anaheim over here. So these are just the very beginning of my seedling plantings. I'm later this year than usual, but I think I still have plenty of time to get some nice plants started for the garden here in Zone 7A, Maryland. Now I'll take you out to the dining room and we'll take a look at my crafts. And when I hear the ding, I'll be putting the pie in the oven. Okay. Now, last time, you may remember, I had finished a blue poncho. And I was going to keep it for me, and I ended up giving it to my 13-year-old granddaughter for her birthday. This one is larger. I made the sections larger because it's for one of my daughters. Her birthday is March 2nd, and she likes to wear things like this. So I made her this poncho. And the yarn I use for it, it's light gray and dark gray. And the yarn I use for it is Vanna's Choice Gray Marble. It has little, I don't know if you can see, but there's specks and dots in it. So it's a nice textured look to it. And then I trimmed it with this dark gray, which is Vanna White's Charcoal Gray. So that made up this poncho. Let me put that aside. Now, slippers. These you've seen. I'm just showing you. I didn't finish them yet. I still have this one done, and this one I had started, and then I ran out of yarn. I got more yarn, but I haven't finished it yet. What I did do was start another pair, because I have a daughter whose birthday is March 17th, and she likes animal prints and zebra and things like that. So I got this yarn that I thought would make up really cute, you know, kind of a quasi zebra print. And these are the slippers I'm making for her. I still have to put a cuff on them, and I've got this one started too. So I'm working on those. And let me make myself some room. Now, you may remember the last time I talked to you on a live stream, I also mentioned that I wanted to start making mittens out of wool sweaters. And I haven't started it yet, but I told you I'd show you the sweaters that I collected so I can do that project. And that's what I'm going to show you now. So back to the table. Now these sweaters I've collected from our family members, but most of them came from marked down thrift stores, because I'm not paying $5, $6, $7 a sweater to make these mittens. So these were all cheap sweaters, a couple of dollars each maybe. But I want to show you them so we can figure out mixing and matching. Now where did I put it? Right, the mittens have like 3 sections to them. So you can like put a pattern with a solid and have one here and one for the cuff and one on the finger. You can even cut it across here and put the fingers different than the palm. But yeah, you can make them really cute. So I have this beige one with stripes, and of course it has solid on it as well, so I can mix and match sections in the mittens. This one I loved. This is so cute. See the birds? Let's see if I can get it over here. Isn't that adorable? It's grays and purples and a little pink and white. So that was a sweater, and I've already cut it up into sections so I can start making mitten pieces. Now this was the back of it, so the back of it was solid. So I can mix and match that, or I can take a section of this sweater. Let me put you down so you can see better. And I can mix and match it with, you know, the print with the blue. So I can do it with the gray, or I can do it with the blue, or I'll have enough. I can probably make a few pair of mittens out of it. I think this would be adorable. And then I have some solid soft off-white, and I have this print which has some pretty colors in it as well. And again, picture it mixing and matching with solids as you make up the mittens. Oh, I got other things stuck in here. This is a granny square I had started. It's kind of complicated. Right, then I've got maroon with maroon and green, and I guess it's like a charcoal blue almost running through it. And again, it has solids, so you can mix and match. And I have a brighter, almost cranberry. Okay, give me half a sec to put the pie in the oven. Right, that's supposed to cook for about 50-55 minutes. Right? More of this. And I could actually mix that with this one. See, it's got kind of the same color red going through it. I have a lot of sweaters. Then I've got this one. The color I don't have is this dark green. I've been looking and looking for a sweater to use that has that dark green. They have to be 60% wool, so it's kind of hard finding them. At least 60% wool. 100% is fine too, but at least 60% wool. Then we got a red. And this one could match with that. Again, we got some pretty flowers, different prints. There's off-white here where I could have used the off-white solid as well. So it's going to be fun figuring out just where to lay the patterns and where to put the flowers and the prints and the stripes. You know? And there's a lot more to that sweater. There's a piece of a tan. And here's a dark gray. It's got a little bit of a stripe through it. And some solid blue. And here's a pretty, oh, and I'm not going to remember what you call this. I want to say jacquard, and that's not right. Anyway, you know, argyle, like argyle socks. And this would go with greens and maroons and blues, gold. A lot of mix and match in that one. It's kind of a Swiss looking sweater. More of that striped one. A lot of these I've already cut up to get going. Let's see if there's any more you haven't seen. I think these are just more pieces. When I get to doing those, I'll let you know how I've chosen to put them together. Now when I gave my granddaughter the blue poncho, I had this much blue yarn left, so I started the first square to make another one for me. And I'll make it a larger one like the gray one I just showed you. But I need to go back and get a whole bunch more of this yarn, which is unfortunate because I have a ton of yarn downstairs, but I don't have this, and I want this denim yarn. I think it would look the best with the clothes I wear. And I like blue. Blue's my favorite color. So I think that's all I have to share with you today. Now when this video goes up as a video instead of a live stream, I will have finished the pie and we'll show it to you all served up. And maybe even the dinner that goes with it tonight. Right now I don't know what I'm making, or I would have made it for you. I'm kind of behind like that. So I'm going to take this with me and go into the office and get on the computer, and I'm going to try letting you see me on the computer while I look at the computer to see your comments. I have no clue if you're there or not, so I'm hopefully, it says it's running, so I'm going to assume you are, and I'll find out in a minute when I go in there. And don't mind my office, it's a mess. I'm going to swallow my pride and take you in there. Okay? What you're all saying. Oh, that pie pan. Okay, I have a pie pan and what do you call, cupcake holder, cupcake pan that you like. Those are from Temptations on QVC, and I don't order them through QVC. I go to a QVC outlet because I'm cheap and I buy them there. Okay. All right, nice pie pan. Thank you. Let's see. Self-cleaning kitchen that pops in and out at the push of a button. I go for that. Yep. All right, so you saw my seed sprouting. Good. Okay, Mama Cat, Lorelei. Is tomato a veggie or a fruit? Was that debate ever settled? I don't care. I just eat it. It tastes good. Grandma, when are you going to plant? After Mother's Day. But I have to check the soil temperature. It's been really warm here, so that should be fine. Supposed to be a fruit. I call it produce. That's a smart thing. Yeah. Brenda's here. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, I love being in the dirt too, Mama Cat. You know, they have something they call earthing, where people actually just go out and lay in the ground in the earth, and they say it's actually good for you and it has healing properties. I don't know if it's true or not, but I always feel better after I've gone out and played in the dirt, don't you? Yes, Dolphin Man was a high bidder on some blue slippers that I donated to the online auction, and that was very nice of him to bid on them, and I was happy to send them off, and I hope whoever got them, the lady who wrote me, the sweet lady who wrote me, I hope she enjoys them. Okay. My daughter loves sweaters and would not like to see them cut up. Okay, don't show her. But she probably liked the mittens when they're done. Okay. Yes. That little square I showed you, that was from Mikey's crochet along thingy. Yeah, I have almost enough to do the Afghan, but they're sitting in a bag. I haven't done it. Just like my butterfly ones. Let me show you those. I showed them once, but you might not have been here. I showed you these before, these butterfly ones. They're 3D. See? I got pink, yellow, purple, and blue butterflies on squares like this to make an Afghan out of. Oops. Okay, now let's see. What else y'all saying? Yeah, thank you, Dolphin Man. My 10:30 Bible time on Saturdays. It's a devotional. What's happening with the jumpers? Sue Wilson, they're going to be used to make mittens. Now, most of those were past their prime. They've had holes in them, or they were just really marked down cheap at thrift stores, and I bought them there to make the mittens. And you can make hats out of them too. Yep. All right, let's see what else. Lorelei wants to come for dinner. That's nice. Oh, Dolphin Man. He says y'all love me. I could cry when I see something like that. All right. Yep, I carry you guys everywhere, from the kitchen to the dining room to here. Oh, my apron. Yeah, I'm going to make myself an apron. This one I bought at an Amish market up in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. No, didn't make this one, but I'm going to make one soon. All right. Yeah, my husband gets home from work at 3:30 and he likes that pie. I've made it before. So we'll see how much damage he does before dinner actually gets here. I wonder how many of you signed off before I actually got here and figured out where to look. Oh, okay, now, okay, you're back. Goody. We were here the whole time, Grandma. I'm way behind on the comments, but I'm glad you stuck around. Wondering about the pie. Sounds tempting. Wish I had a nearby QVC. Yeah, I have one in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. I'm in Maryland, and Lancaster is about, 2 hours from me, 2.5 depending on where you go, high or low in Lancaster. And there's also a QVC in Maryland out on the coast. I don't know if it's Bethany Beach, maybe. It's way out there on one of the beaches. And I've been to that one too. Okay. Fruit. Annette. Grandma? Pi X times the power of 2. What? Delvin man. Okay. Oh, she loved the slippers. Oh, I'm so happy. You know, you always worry, are they going to like them? Yay, a Georgia lady. Thank you, Dolphin Man. I'm glad she liked them. Okay. Oh, you just saw, okay, 3D crochet. Yep, that was my butterfly. The pattern link for the butterfly. I can show you the pattern itself and see if I can give you a link to it. Let's see. It's called Butterfly Kisses. And there must be a link here. All right. Well, oh yes, there is. Okay, it says copyright by Sharon Santorum, and it's www.creeksendpottery.com. Let me see if I can get that up where you can read it. See that right there? www.creeksendpottery.com. And that's on the cover to this Butterfly Kisses pattern. Now you see this was made as a baby Afghan, but I did mine in brighter colors, more vivid colors for an older. I was thinking about, well, I'm not going to say. I had somebody in mind when I was making it. Okay. Okay, you think 6 folks are left. Okay. Yeah. You could always hang it on the wall, Claire, right? Okay, well, if you don't have any questions or anything, thanks so much for coming by. I guess this works now that I've figured out how to pull it up here. The stream says it's green, so it's a nice strong one. I just can't see your comments when I'm out in the kitchen and living room because I can't get them up on my little Kindle thingy. Doesn't want to do it for me. But then I can come in here and I can put the camera on me and I can read your comments, and you know, that kind of works, right? All right. Well, thank you all for coming by, and as I get braver, I'll try and do a few more of these and do more cooking and gardening. I might be able to take you out in my garden and in my orchard and everything, because when I've taken my iPad out there before, I went all the way to the back of the property. I mean, it's only 9,000 square feet. It's not huge. It's less than a quarter acre. But when I was all the way in the back in my greenhouse, I was able to use my iPad to watch movies from the Wi-Fi in the house. So on a good day, I might be able to take it out and live stream from there. Maybe. Well, it's worth a try, right? I will try that when the weather's good and I've got some things going on out there, because I've got an espalier fruit tree orchard out there with a dozen fruit trees, and I've got lots and lots of berries, and I got a big garden. Considering the size of my little suburban yard, it's quite a sizable garden with lots of vegetables in it, and strawberries and things like that. So let me check one more time. Okay. Hi, Nifty. Good to see you, hon. Okay. All right. You all go out and have a blessed day and be a blessing. Bye-bye now.